Hey everyone, this was the last one, part 3 of the Wilbinga trip, just the last day of the journey, just a few pictures and wrapping it all up. This was actually one of the fishes, it's a bit hard to see in the picture, one of the fishes I've got a little rasp. Our campsite we set up, 3 of us to rest up, nice background views and nice views of the beach, and that's our little fire stay. That's built, set up. Really nice evening we had together there. Some beautiful views of the sun coming down or going up. I wasn't really sure, but Bill took those. They were nice. And a good old cook up. You can see there I was really enjoying it. Tracking of where we've been through that area. And then here we go, some the footage of some of the areas that we were driving along during the afternoon, the morning, that day. So this is through the back section of Wilbinga. I don't know if it's just my rendering, it's a bit slow at the moment, it's dragging on. But through these back sections, most of this is very firm sand. And it's quite easy to get lost in, as you can tell. Like the brush is quite heavy, and you'll find that it'll hit the side of your car. I've those extended mirrors. You can even see there is passing other vehicles. You have to sort of move right off to the side to let other people get past, but it can get quite thick, and you end up with those light scratches down the side of your car, but they generally buff out when you get back. But that's normal for the bush. So the trails can get kind of thin in sections. Can be easy going like this is at the moment, and then it can be you can get sections that are really hard. Like I think we get some sections later on where I try and attempt going up some hills, albeit that I wasn't in 4 low and I didn't have my diff lockers on. It was more just a bit of fun while I was mucking around waiting, and then didn't quite make it up. And one of the ones to get out, I actually did have to actually go on a 4 low and put diff lockers in to get through the rutted out sand areas, because there's big sections where it's big chunks taken out. So this, I think, was us heading back towards the Wilbinga Dunes 1, in through the back way. Fortunately, Bill's leading us through this area because it is very easy to get lost through here. Super easy to get lost. I actually, in fact, I think later on I was fiddling around with the camera, and I lost view of the guys, and it was only fortunate for the dust that I actually figured out which way they went and had to catch up. But yeah, you can see here, like it's quite easy going through these sections. So you've got a lot of variety, and then there's so many of these tracks, but you have a lot of variety of type of forward driving that you can do through here. You can have this really easy going sort of type, and then you can have the real steep hills, and then you can have the soft sand down on the beach, and then the firmer sand to the top. So you got a lot of variety. I don't know what is going on with my rendering of this video, because it seems to my screen to be very jittery. So I hope it turns out differently and smoother when I render it properly. But if it doesn't, I'll redo it again. Maybe it's just the process is taking up some time. But anyway, but yeah, as we're heading through this section, making our way back to the main section of the dunes, you can see there's heaps of camping spots throughout the area. Obviously better if you like to get closer to the beach area, so you don't have to it's awesome to be able to wake up right next to the beach. So yeah, you can see here into the distance there, that's that dune that we actually came into on the first day. So this is later on. You can actually see that the tracks that we originally took up the dunes itself, you can tell how many more cars that had gone through that area by how dug out it was. And even up the top, you'd see there was a lot of guys that, now it's actually playing better. There was a lot of guys doing a lot of hooning around up there and doing donuts and stuff, and they'd really rotted it out, which had made it for terrible driving. I really hate it when drivers do that sort of stuff. But yeah, so there's that line. You can see how much deeper those ruts are in comparison to day one when we first went up those lines. They went there. So all this section here, you can tell how much that was really smooth in part one. Now, yeah, you can see that even the camera's bouncing around as we're going over this section. To the left there, just quickly, you saw there was a nice area to camp. We're still at this stage. I think we're looking for a place to set up. Just trying to find somewhere out of the wind, because those easterlies can hit you pretty hard when you're looking for something. But I think this is later on, and we're looking for something and choosing which directions to go. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, a bit of heavy going through there. You can tell how this is a bit softer, so you got to pause and wait for the other guys to go through, and then see how they go, and then follow along. So this is getting right down to the beach section again. Someone's set up right there near that beach, just to getting some wind breaks from the wind there. I think we move on to this later on. We're doing some full driving later in the day. And now there was a couple of stretches. So there was this hill, which was really quite rutted out, but it deviates really high to the left. So I was concerned there's a potential to roll, so I didn't bother trying that hill. But there's a hill just to my left here that was very rutted, but was straight, so I thought I'd give it a crack while I was waiting for one of the guys, because you can see in the camera, you can see, look at that, there's a lot of gaps and holes and juts, and I hit just about here where a couple of tyres come out of contact with the ground. I'm just flicking sand, and then I realised there's nothing at the top there anyway, so wasn't any point going up there. But it was a bit of fun. But yeah, as I back down, you can see how deep some of those holes are, where you need the four low and you need the diff lockers so that you're not got free wheel spinning. So I checked out that one. Didn't bother doing that because of that curve to the left. You always got to be careful going up dunes. You always want to go straight up a hill, never go on an angle or anything like that. There's huge potential to roll your car. So I decided, hey, why not take this right-hand one? This one looks really smooth. Let's see what's going up this way. It's all about exploring, so I thought, why not give it a crack? In the meantime, I think the guys were checking out there's a snake that was off to the right of the screen. I actually drive over to have a look, because at first I thought it was dead because it was just not moving. But I think we were talking about it at this stage over the radio, that there was a snake there. But I'm not sure if I go and check the snake first or I go up this hill. I think I go up the hill first. But up that hill there to the left, right in front of me, no, actually go look at the snake first. Yeah, there you go, there's the snake there. And even though, yeah, so unfortunately I don't drive her, as you can see, she's just past my bonnet. I just wanted to get up close to see if it was alive, but I could see that it had actually slid in there. I just wanted to have a good look and see what type of snake it was. We were like, definitely don't get bogged here. So we didn't want to do a recovery next to the snake. But I drive up here, and this was a really nice, beautiful camping spot with a great view, because you come up and around this corner and you end up on a really nice plateau. As you see, as we come around to the right, come on, drive, Ben, drive. There we go. Beautiful. Look at that plateau. Nice big open section. So this would be a really nice area. You can camp and check out that view of the ocean. So it'd be great. Camp up and wake up for that view. So it'd be beautiful spot to camp. Hopefully, if there was, you weren't subject to the wind. So I do a bit of a turnaround and come back down from this spot, because it was basically, it's a dead end. But it's a great camping spot. So for those that are interested, that was just off left from the dune area. So you just follow the trails out there. It's not hard to find. So we decided to take the easiest, most simplest route, and we go down this track straight in front of us here, and continue on the journey. We were just basically, at this point, I just wanted to explore the area for a little bit, because I haven't been here, and there's so many different places to go. And unfortunately, my camera ran out of battery a bit later on, because there was some real good sections that we ended up going through that I would have liked to have shown you guys, that were a little bit more difficult than the hill I tried just before that didn't quite make it up. But they're good fun ones to try, where you can give it a go, try and get up there, and if it doesn't work out, reverse back down and go again. This is, we end up going back down onto the beach for a bit of a spin. So I'm down here on the, first of all, I was down on the lower surface to show, because I was talking about how at low tide, between high tide and low tide, if you're down on low tide, that sand between high and low is usually kind of firm, and the section between where we are now on the main line and that high tide mark is usually the softest sand, and this main line most people use as the hardest sand. So there's always no dramas with shooting down and using that firmer sand that has been washed and had water firm it from the high tide. I often use that area, especially because usually you're on a bit of an angle as it slopes towards the beach, so you use that slope to your advantage. So there's no issues with going down and using that section. Sometimes it can be a lot smoother driving than some of the rutted up areas that are up the top, like this section's, where a lot of people will either don't deflate their tyres or turn off and create real corrugated sections that make driving really unpleasant on the beach. So you just got to pick your look at the terrain and then gauge it from there. And then there you can see Paul giving it some gas to get around there. So then it was my turn to give it some gas, and then you turn off the line. Always maintain a decent momentum and get yourself up. And then we come up here, and this is where we park up to do the drone footage. So that's on a separate video. That's where that plateau was. Beautiful scenery, as you can see there. That beach, lovely, really lovely views. Really nice beach section, nice tracks. So I think this one's the last section, or the last set of videos before my camera died altogether. So this is some of the track on the way out. So this is pretty much the way back to the exit from part one. So as you can see, there's different sections. You've got some areas where it drops, like there's through this section you see that it's kind of jutted, so you got to wait for the guy in front to go first and make sure he gets through all right, or if someone's off to the side. There's also sections where it we had to have a nice big tilt where we were almost like on a 20-degree angle and it was real tight. And then you come up over a hill and then it drops off real steeply. So whenever you go up and over those hills, always make sure that you're giving it momentum to get to the hill, but you've got enough so that you're aware of any drop-offs on the other side. And if you're unsure, always just walk up and maybe have a check. Because there's nothing worse than getting up to the top of the hill and not realising that it's a steep drop off or there's nothing on the other side and you don't have time to brake or get out of the situation you're in. So always think smart when you're out four-wheel driving. There's nothing worse. The last thing you want to do is damage our four-wheel drives or do anything that's going to cause any issues. But see, this is what I'm talking about, that thick bushes where you can scratch up the side of your car. I'm pausing here at a moment of fucking muddling around with my camera, but also waiting for the other guys. See, this is one of those steep drops that come down. It looks a little bit different in the footage, but that was actually quite steep when I went down it. You can actually see the speed where I didn't even apply gas. That was just my gravity dragging us down. But this is pretty much finishing up because the camera dies pretty much here. But that was pretty much the whole weekend. So I hope you guys enjoyed the footage. Hopefully we'll get some more footage of various other areas and get some footage from outside the vehicle as well, so you can see what happens when you go up a hill and you get wheel spin and stuff, so you can see what it looks like, and some other different quality footage, and I'll take some stuff while we're up in Shark Bay, some forward driving stuff up there. So I hope you enjoyed that, and thanks guys for everyone that came down to Wilbinga for the trip, and I'll see you around next time. Thank you.